closet on a MacBook, same repetitive trap beat with a whack hook. Preschool nursery rhymes, dog. That's a bad look, but I ain't standing for it.
Topic that is being discussed in every barbershop, on every block, all around the world. The GOAT debate.
I got LeBron.
You lying. I know you lying.
Sorry, LeBron fans.
You say that with a straight face too, man.
I got to show I'm good at poker. You and I've talked about this so many times, and it's, to me, it's laughable. Some of the people that they call the GOAT. At least for me, the GOAT is very. It's like a hierarchy that very few people ever get. But now everybody's the GOAT.
Yeah, the GOAT. The GOAT is singular. You know what I'm saying? I hate when people say he's a GOAT. He's a GOAT. She's a GOAT. No.
Look at all these goats.
It ain't no herd of goats. It's one GOAT.
Yeah.
The GOAT. And you got, of course, we got different categories. You got different sports, basketball, football. Football is a little different because it's, so many different positions. You can't just say the GOAT football player. You can say the GOAT quarterback, the GOAT running back, who you think's the GOAT. Basketball, there's 5 different positions, but you're on the court the whole game, the 5. Right. So, like on football, you can't just say one player because the defensive player only plays defense and the offensive, so he can't control the other side of the ball.
Well, let me ask you this, since you're talking about position players, right? Because this has me real curious. What defines a GOAT?
What's my criteria for the GOAT? Man, it's a combination of things. It's the impact you left on the game. Like if you changed the game, really elevated the game. It's, of course, stats. Definitely rings. That matters. Winning,
That helps.
Because you could be a great player but on teams that never won. So it's kind of like empty stats, empty calories almost. Like it's you're a great player, but your greatness did not help your team win. I feel like because when you play sports, winning is the goal.
It's a team sport.
It's a team sport.
Win as a team, right?
Yeah, and you want to make your teammates better. So if you a guy that's putting up crazy numbers, but your team is never in the race to win a championship, then you just a guy that's great on a bad team. But I think true great players make their teammates better.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. So, obviously, we have similar opinions on who we love.
Oh, yeah, longevity. Let me not leave that out.
Longevity,
yep.
So, and I guess this is where maybe people can't separate it, like Michael Jordan and the Bulls. To me, I think Michael Jordan is a phenomenon. But I also believe without his team, Michael Jordan would have just been a great player.
Yeah, absolutely. Michael Jordan, to me, we're going to just take it there. Okay. Basketball, the GOAT. We both agree on this. Michael Jordan is the GOAT, in our opinion.
Right.
And for me, there are other players that can be in the GOAT conversation, but again, there's only one GOAT. Now, not to take, because everybody's always comparing Jordan to LeBron. That's the comparison. I understand it. There's you have an argument. LeBron definitely has an argument because, like I said, from going based off of my criteria, stats. LeBron, stats wise, is going to have the best stats ever. He really does. Right? But he also played longer, so that goes into longevity. He's played longer than anybody. He came in the league at 18 and started right away. So he didn't, where Jordan went to college, and then Jordan also retired for a year and a half and then came back. So, but then you go.
You think LeBron will do that? He'll be too old to be able to retire and come back, right?
Nah. He gonna just thug it out all the way through. LeBron, he's got. I mean, and like I said, it's incredible, man. Not to knock LeBron, you can't knock it at all.
He still plays at a very high level for his age.
High level, and I would say that, in my opinion, he's the greatest. He's played at the highest level longer than anybody else. I'll say that. Yeah. But then you got to take peaks. To me, Jordan's peak is unmatched.
Yeah, well, and especially during, I guess it's the era too, right? Because basketball is different than it was back then.
Yeah.
And, I think I've shared a couple of reels with you watching Jordan and Rodman and Barkley almost street fight. Like, I'm not talking throwing a blow or pushing somebody or giving. I mean, I'm talking about they were trying to rip each other's head off. And I don't know if anybody knows how big Shaq and Barkley really are. Just a lot of power. And I remember going, I'm just not for sure if some of the players now could play from back then. LeBron is in a league of his own. Michael Jordan is in a league in his own. Kobe Bryant is really closely to the league of MJ. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, but I think that too. I think, and then like I said, we also got, I said rings. Jordan got, 6 rings, 2 3-peats. I mean, did it basically with the same. Well, he won all his championships with the same team. He did play for the Wizards because the some fans would be like, "Oh man, y'all always leave that part out when Jordan those last 2 years." And we can't leave it out. In totality, yeah, those last 2 years weren't the best. But
wasn't he 40?
He was 40, and it was a business move. But then you got the people will say, "Well, shit, LeBron's 40 now, and look what he's doing."
I mean,
but
sure, yeah.
I seen Mace talk about this yesterday. He said Kobe is over LeBron for him. And this is, and everybody has their criteria and their reasons. And for me, this is something that I always said, man. Kobe did it. He won 5 rings, and he played his whole career with the same team. 20 years, Lakers,
That's
up
right,
years,
yeah.
down years. And that goes for something. Like my knock on LeBron has always been, man, you went from you switch your team too much. It's almost like I get it. You're supposed to chase rings. You want to win championships, but I don't know. Like, I feel like Michael Jordan, man, other players were going to come play with him. Mm-hmm. Same thing with Kobe Bryant. I feel like some of the greatest players, like other great players, probably could have had more rings if they did with a lot of these players are doing now, the LeBrons and the Kevin Durants. Now, imagine if Larry Bird said, "You know what, man, I'm going to go play with Magic." They would have won probably 8 or 9 rings together. Or if Jordan said, "I'm going to go play with Shaq in the prime of his career." Or so, I don't know. Like, for me, I'm a competitive person. I like my sports competitive. I don't like everybody just being buddy and playing together, you know. So for me, that's just my knock. And I know some people are going to say, "Well, he didn't have a good team, that first Cleveland team." Yeah, that's true. But then what about Miami? You go play with Wade and Bosh, and then they said, "Well, Wade start getting hurt." Then he goes he goes back to Cleveland, and then he went back then he's to the Lakers. Now he's got Luka with him, so he's had a lot of.
Him and Luka should pull four rings back to back, no problem.
He's had a great. He's a great. He's a great player. Like, no, I'm not gonna slander the man. I mean, he's, like I said, he's at the level he's played at, and he's been blessed because he's never had like a real major injury either. Where
playing that for that long.
Yeah, he just took care of his body. But that's
gotta give him respect. Whether you think he's a GOAT or whether you like him, you gotta respect him.
Gotta respect him. Yeah. You could be an all-time. I tell people all the time, man, there's one GOAT. You could be an all-time great, but you can't be the greatest of all time. There's only one greatest of all time. Yeah. There's many all-time greats, and I feel like for me in basketball, Jordan is just the GOAT. He just changed the game, and hell, his shoes is. Yeah. We still got his shoes on our feet. It's for a reason, man. These kids weren't even born when Jordan was playing, but they want them J's. They know who Jordan is. Yeah. Facts.
Yeah, and like I said, for me, I watched it during a time where it was really changing. Of course, I mean, once even from like the early times, right? From who is it, Cousy or like
Bob Cousy and all them. Yeah, old school. Yeah,
but back then, they were the greatest because that was all you had.
Yeah.
The game evolved. So it's like, again, generation. Like, that could play a big part. Yeah. Somebody who's born now is probably not going to go, "Well, Jordan's a GOAT." They never watched him play live.
Yeah.
So. That's true. It's kind of maybe not being so hard.
We are prisoners of the moment. You're right. Like, our era. And I try not to do that. I try not to be that way. I know some guys that's like that. One of my homies just sent me something yesterday, and it was like a picture of like a current player, and it was like the meme or whatever was saying that he wouldn't survive. And I'm like, I try not to be that old head that's like, man, because I feel like greatness transcends any generation. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, And like you said, you can only go off of like the talent around you. You played when you can't help when you were born. You played in the era that you played in.
But it's software. He didn't ask for it.
The rules were the rules then. You know, just like they changed the rules for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he changed the game. He can be in the GOAT conversation. You know, Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. You can even say Steph Curry. I know a lot of people probably would say probably not, but he changed the game. The man is, these kids don't, we grew up wanting to be like Mike, wanting to dunk and all. Man, these kids want to grow up and shoot threes from half court because of what Steph Curry did.
He is a absolute phenomenon as well.
Man, one of a kind.
He just throws the ball up, and I'm going, I could effort that shot 50 times and maybe not hit it. And he just kind of walks over, grabs the ball, throws it up, and looks at his dad.
What they say, Stefferless.
Stefferless. And, you know, and I like him as a person, right?
Yeah.
There is nothing better than finding good people who are really talented.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I think I liked about Jordan. And it's kind of really what I didn't like about LeBron, because that's all I saw when he lost.
Yeah.
I do not believe in bad sportsmanship. I believe there's a winner and there's a loser, and your time's coming and going at all times. So if you want to win and feel happy, don't destroy somebody else's when they win.
Right.
You know,
right.
so when he comes off the court and he's kind of got that, it has stuck with me for his entire career. And I'm just like, oh, you see LeBron? It takes me back to that moment because it shows his character. And I'm over the character more than I am the basketball player.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
but I will say this though, LeBron though, he's been in the league 20. But I can't even remember 20. I think it's 22nd season right now.
It's like half my
But
life.
he's never had any off the court issues or nothing.
That's true,
To come straight out of high school to not have no, you know,
Legal
married his high school sweetheart. You never heard anything bad. Steph Curry, the same with Steph Curry. Like you never hear anything bad about them two guys. Kevin Durant as well. So you
I
can
didn't really
say,
put that into perspective. Yeah.
you could say I
But
gotta
he did
give
go to
them
Diddy
credit.
Party, right?
You silly man. But let me ask you this: musically, like, you know, me and you both hip hop artists. You know, we rap. So what's the criteria for the GOAT in your opinion for hip hop? Your type of hip hop? Is it lyricism? Is it sales? Is it impact on the culture? Is it, you know, what is it for you?
Both
for
of those,
hip-hop?
but not sales.
Yeah.
I don't think sales impact anything because I think sales can be bought. Sales can be marketed. And I believe if somebody
Yes, sir.
underground who makes this big wave and people hear about them, those are people who are legendary.
Okay.
Yeah.
So give me your hip hop GOAT.
Oh God, I can't believe you put me on a spot like this.
Put you on the spot.
I'm just gonna be honest, Tupac. And I'll tell you why it wasn't. You know, of course, he had sales and a popularity, and I did it because I liked who Tupac was. He introduced a lot of us white people, right? People who didn't grow up in situations, to a world that we were not familiar with. Brenda Had a Baby. I remember the first time I heard Brenda Had a Baby. And when I watched the video, I thought, damn, like that's deep, but it was reality for him a lot.
Yeah.
So to me, Nas, Rakim, like there's tons of people, like, I'll be honest with you, my stack up here top is pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot, because I think there's a lot of legendary people that they did it with what their talent and didn't need any backing.
Man, that's crazy. We agreed on Jordan. I agree too. You know, Pac is the
We
GOAT
didn't talk about
to
that
me.
either, right?
No, we didn't talk about that at all. That wasn't. But Pac is anybody that knows me knows Pac is the GOAT for me. For the same reasons, just, you know, I felt like, I mean, for him to had getting his life taken at 25 years old, and just how deep he was and what he rapped about, you know, to me, impact wise, it's. I don't know if we'll ever see in hip hop the impact of Tupac ever again. You know, you got people that's lyrically better than Tupac. Sales are gonna eventually, you know, because you know I don't think he has no more music to be coming out unless they like remix some of his old music. But
Watch out for AI.
you're right. You got people that's gonna outsell him, but just that impact, I feel like nobody. I've never felt somebody's music like his. It's different. Like you hear it, you listen to it, you say that's good, but then you just feel it. DMX was close. DMX definitely, RIP both of them guys. They both just they put passion in that music, and you felt it. So for me, Tupac is the GOAT in hip hop music, and then I was gonna say your GOAT boxer, but I mean I guess you could say GOAT heavyweight, GOAT middleweight, but we'll just ask who's your favorite boxer of all time. We'll say favorite.
It's probably going to be a majority unless they absolutely hate him. I've always been a Mike Tyson fan. Now, during the time that he was talking about eating people's children and, you know what I mean? But he was battling demons, and he was surrounded by people who were not protecting him.
Yeah.
But man, if I've ever seen a man on this planet that at one time was probably the scariest person, like that's one person that you didn't want to run into, it'd be Mike Tyson.
All right, Mike. Yeah, they used to call him the baddest man on the planet.
Yeah. Shout out to Muhammad Ali. Different era.
Yeah, different era.
They said,
and it's crazy because I grew up. Mike Tyson was definitely my favorite boxer growing up.
You're so mean.
But as I got older and grown, I start because of course I was born in '86. Ali's career was done by the time I was even born. But when I seen documentaries and heard about Ali, and me being from Louisville, it's just that sense of pride, man, and what he stood for outside of the ring too, not just how great he was in the ring. And Ali's the GOAT for me, but Mike Tyson growing up was definitely my favorite.
Yeah. I would say the same. I would agree. I didn't get to experience Muhammad Ali. I didn't get to, but watching him, and of course, I guess it's the same thing going, when you say Jordan's a GOAT, never watched him. It's the experience of people who watch Muhammad Ali. How can I say he's not the GOAT?
Yeah. Ali was one of the first guys in sports and entertainment. He was entertaining in sports. Like he was kind of just had that charisma, that mouthpiece. Made you. He was box office before it was such thing as box office. He was a rapper and didn't need
music.
Yeah. He was a poet.
He's a poet.
Yeah. Ali was special. That's why they called him the Louisville Lip. It was one of his nicknames. That's another thing when you said you was talking about generations and seeing a person. That's the last thing for my criteria. I forgot to say that earlier. The eye test. Sometimes analytics, stats don't tell the whole story. You can look at the analytics and the stats, but man, I was there. I seen it. I never seen anything like it. Right. And I feel like that's what makes a GOAT. When you see something and you like, bruh, look, this person's good, this person's great, but that person is special. Like I never seen somebody do that, and that's what Jordan was to me.
It's a feeling.
It was just like Jordan was just he was next level, and I don't know. The eye test means a lot because we live in a world now where everything is so analytical and everything's about statistics. But stats, like I said, don't tell the whole story because sometimes players get empty stats. Your team could be up by 40 points and you just add more points, more rebounds. So, statistically, it's going to say it looks a little better than what it really was. But the eye test, and then also the times when you do the things you do, display the greatness. Okay, you did this during the regular season, but what about the playoffs? What about the championship game, the clutch moments? You have to be there to see it. Man.
Oh.
Yeah.
But they played hard all season. And, I remember watching LeBron try to, kind of got that little, I don't know what's called, the little spread, kind of duck walk. White guy was doing this imitation. Have you ever seen him in his backyard? And he kind of comes down. He's like when LeBron gets the ball. But Jordan and Kobe to me always looked like people that were commanding the court and were good. It was just different. It felt different. To me, I don't know. It was just LeBron felt to me was too calm. Kobe and Jordan.
You feel like he had that killer instinct that they had.
It's like that.
A lot of people say that.
Yeah. So
it's but I will say it's one GOAT. Quit y'all kill me with that. He's a GOAT. She's a GOAT. Not everybody can't be a GOAT. It's greatest of all time. It's one. That means the greatest from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s is the greatest, period. You know, so, and we would like for you to put down in the comments if you agree with us, if you disagree, tell us what your criteria of a GOAT is to you. And man, blow the comments up. Put who you think's the GOAT, and it could be a whatever. It don't have to necessarily be sports. Who's your GOAT actor? Who's your GOAT actress? Who's your GOAT president? Who's, you know, just
Man, drop them in the comments. We want to hear it.
yeah, we definitely want to do it.
You think
And
anybody's dropping LeBron in the comments?
definitely, I think LeBron he'll get some.
Bring it.
Look, they gonna go at your neck. They're gonna be like, man, Shine's a hater, bruh.
Hey, all I gotta say is I don't believe in stats.
These cats show, man, these busters are scared. The way I'm spitting, come on, none of these suckers compared. I won't lose, I refuse to adjust to these squares. I need a mic as bad as Durant need a brush for his hair. See, I'm different, I'm in love with the art and the culture, and I'ma always set myself apart from the vultures. Got the mind of a king and the heart of a soldier, so I'm never giving up, I'm going hard.